a lot of different twists and turns in this story. One very fat customer, who looked like he'd already eaten enough, was going through the list and picking a bewildering array of meals. It was difficult for Jack not to laugh, as the man's face got so red with excitement that he began to resemble a pig, and a very greedy one at that. Jack scribbled down the order, and he couldn't believe that someone could eat so much. He had a starter chicken liver patty on toast, with caramelized chutney, a large curry, coffee and biscuits, and root beer. Jack moved round the table, and everyone was dressed in suits, and the women were dripping in jewellery and pearls and fancy dresses. Jack hurried back to the chef and the cooks, who were busy chopping and dicing like mad. Sweat was forming on their brows, and their white smocks were no longer white. Jack was glad he wasn't in the kitchen. It was far too noisy and busy for him to cope with. He went back over to his hungry customers. It was difficult remembering who had ordered what, and he was worried that he would soon make a mistake. The bell rang and another customer walked in, and he didn't wear a suit. He was wearing a leather jacket, jeans, and big black boots. He looked tough, and he frowned a lot, as if something was troubling him. He ordered a beer without a thank you, and Jack wrote down the order of steak and chips, and then he went back to his washing up. The cups were beginning to build, and the plates were balanced so precariously it was only a matter of time before they crashed to the floor. He set to work with his brush. He had a lot of catching up to do. It was then that he heard a loud banging noise and a lot of shouting from inside the restaurant. It was a different type of noise, and he decided to investigate. He took a rolling pin with him for protection, even though he wasn't sure what protection it would give him. The man in the leather jacket was shouting and holding a gun. He was clutching it. Turn the page. One moment. Oh my God. He was clutching it. Clutching it. A large bag, which he proceeded to fill with large banknotes from the till. None of the staff or customers moved. It was as if they were rooted to the spot. No one was moving. Jack looked at the money, and then he looked at the gun. He didn't feel afraid. He knew he had to act. Everything seemed to move in slow motion as he reached out to grab the loaded gun. He heard a voice shouting, "No!" but all he could think about was grabbing it. He reached out and grabbed the end of the revolver. This was when everything changed. A loud bang and a burning smell filled the restaurant, and Jack looked down, and he saw the shape of a red rose appear on his white smock, but he felt no pain. All around him people were screaming, but he was as calm as a flower. Slowly, ever so slowly, he began to feel faint, and the lights in the room grew dimmer and dimmer until there was no light at all. Hope you enjoy. Please sub me.